Hey, look at that. My friend Hunter from Edmonton is here. He's wearing an incredible sweatshirt, my friend. I love that you're wearing the EPN sweatshirt. It's so cool. It's surreal. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having the show. I appreciate it. I've been watching for a while. It's good entertainment.
Oh, man, thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. We try, man. We try to get out and talk to the people that make cool things and talk about all kinds of very fun stuff out there.
Yep.
We're about to dive into Let's Play and Chat, and this is a game that just got updated, so I feel a little bit better about playing because there was some issues with this game at first, at least on my PS4 Pro. It's Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Hunter, you've played this a little bit already.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Almost to the end, but we couldn't finish the last boss.
Oh,
so
wow, okay.
Well, we'll try it again.
Take us in. We're at the beginning here because we have basically started fresh. But take us in, show us your skills, kill some Nazis, which is always fun. Apologies to anybody that's a little squeamish. There's going to be some blood being sprayed everywhere in this game for a bit, but they're Nazis, okay? And they deserve what they get. This is Let's Play and Chat, so if you've got a comment or a question about anything, go ahead and flood the chats, and we'll get to them. If you guys can do me a favor and go all caps, that would be very, very rad. But I've got a question for you. What are you doing in Vancouver? You're from Edmonton.
Yes. Well, I came out with my my mom because she's has work, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just took this as an opportunity to finally see the show live. I've been waiting to do for a long time.
Awesome. So. What are your thoughts as somebody sitting down and watching a live show?
It's pretty impressive. It's a pretty impressive set you got going on here. It's.
Does it feel pretty cool?
Yeah, it feels pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good vibe. This is I always get that feeling and I hear that from people when they come and they visit us here at 390 West Hastings in Vancouver. They have a good time, and that's what this is all about. Let's see. Okay, we got and from Akash saying, Akashio, kill it, Hunter, in all caps, following the rules. That truly is. Adrian Leon says that truly is an amazing Contra game. It visually looks awesome as well. Talking about blazing chrome. Comment from Nintendo Boy 17. Anybody else think that the new Wolfenstein games have more in common with 007 shooters than a classic Wolfenstein game? Not a bad thing, as I miss Bond shooters, but still, yeah, I think that there's a little bit of an homage to GoldenEye and stuff like that. I mean,
yeah.
They all learn from each other.
That's true.
Yeah. I love how violent it is in our space right now. It's incredibly gory. Is this game making your guest feel angry, upset? I need to reenact what's on screen. D-Dub. Yes, I guess this is a topical question, right? Everybody's thinking that shooter games make you really violent.
Yeah.
What do you think about all that?
I honestly, it's ridiculous. Like most of those people, I guarantee, never touch a video game in their life and don't understand. How fun it can be to enjoy a game no matter like how it's portrayed.
It's entertainment, and we human beings have been telling violent stories from the beginning of time. It's part of our makeup. There's a fascination with it, and we have always wanted to sort of dive into the darkness. And it's not new, and it's not just about the video game industry. I think it's ridiculous to kind of tie entertainment to psychotic behavior like that. And it's lazy, and especially coming from this, a country that is so lackadaisical when it comes to gun regulation. It seems so preposterous,
Sure.
Yeah, all the stats are out there. And, honestly, I've been hearing this argument and this scapegoat kind of analogy for longer than you've been alive.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating, and this time it's just so apparent and so obvious, and gratefully, thankfully, obvious to everybody that they're just trying anything to kind of push the attention away from what must be done, which is, take damn assault rifles out of people's hands. Like the people should not be able to buy those, and go out and do heinous things like that. Sorry for the politics, but I'm glad for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for calling out BS over video games and real-life violence. I mean, everybody that's got a brain in their head knows that this is ridiculous. Pro Boy, you can turn off your invisibility cloak.
Oh, yeah. You got invisibility in this game, too.
Yes. Jeff Meacham, thanks for saying my name in the rundown in last week's show. It made me very happy. You rock. My pleasure. Thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for being a part of the live experience and for spreading the word. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for answering my question. I thought you might gloss over it, but I have more respect for you now because the topic is sad. These acts need to stop, but games aren't at fault. D-Dub, absolutely not. Actually, my friend Greg Miller wrote a nice piece in Newsweek, which is being shared all over the internet right now. You guys should read that. It's so ridiculous that we even have to discuss it. When I saw that Walmart has stopped putting displays about video games up, especially violent video games, but they still sell guns in their stores.
Yeah,
that is the height of hypocrisy. It's ridiculous. Greg Seward, these violence conversations are giving me deja vu. What year is it? Yeah, Greg, you know this. Greg, longtime game journalist and been in the video game industry forever. Was probably, I think you were at EGM when a lot of this BS was bubbling up the first time. Let's see what else we got in here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Rick Savage, who said that the Expanse reminded him of Battlestar Galactica. Certainly there's some elements there, and some crossover in the talent as well, which is cool. Actually, I've got two friends in the Expanse. I didn't talk about this in the review. Both actor friends. One of them I went to school with at the University of Victoria. We were in the theater department over there, and he was the James Dean star of UVic the year that I was in the theater department. His name is Peter Outerbridge, and he plays a total scumbag in the third season of The Expanse. And I was like, wow, what a great performance. But he was like James Dean, and they did West Side Story the year that I was at UVic, and he just looked like a total dude out of the 50s. He was amazing. Then I went to another school called the Film and Theater School here in Vancouver, and Matthew Bennett was like the James Dean of FTS, and he was super cool and was in all kinds of great stuff. And then both of them went on to have fantastic careers, but he shows up in the middle of the season 3 of The Expanse, and they're like both dudes that I was like, man, those guys are awesome. They're going to have great careers, and they have had great careers. Matthew Bennett also had a long role as a Cylon in Battlestar Galactica, so it was really cool to see friends in the show. And actually, I was texting with Elias Tefexis last night because I'm totally name dropping right now, but he was in The Expanse in the first season as well, doing some live action stuff, and he's terrific in the show. And of course, he is the voice of Adam Jensen, and he is doing an amazing job, kind of flipping, from the performance capture world into live action world, doing voiceover stuff, doing commercials, and he lives in Los Angeles now. And we had a good chat. He's very proud of The Expanse, and actually his character, I won't say anything, just watch The Expanse, but he shows up again. I can't say anything. Okay, anyways, watch The Expanse. It's great, and Elias Tefexis rocks. Let's see what we got here. Jazz Deep Guilt, thank you. You're very sweet. Wesley West, at least it's not, okay, we're off of that topic now. Question, Vic, have you ever been affected by the ESA leak or the weekend, or what are your thoughts on some people on the list talking to lawyers about suing the ESA? Yeah, there was a leak over the weekend, and my information was likely in there. I haven't really dived too deep into it, and I don't really want to talk about it too much, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks. And it was poorly handled, and I was not happy. So I don't know. Nothing really to report on right now, but thank you for your concern. Got a yes, Blazing Chrome from Sam I Am 111. Yeah, it's an amazing game. And Sam I Am 111, who knows everything about video games, said it was made in Game Maker's Studio, which is, I think it's like a $50 piece of software, and you can make video games with it. Is that right?
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's like mostly for RPGs, I think, but you buy it on Steam and then go ahead and make games. It's nuts. But lots of people do. Okay, let's see. Anyone still playing Fortnite? I gave up because of the excessively large updates every 3 days. Let's see what else we got in here. I haven't played Fortnite in a while. Conan the Barbarian, don't wear pants. That's from Rick Savage, talking about the lack of pants in Danny's character. All right. 56-second boards. Let's see what we got here. Akashio says you have skills.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I've been practicing.
Is he crushing it?
Killing.
Yes? Very nice. What's your weapon of choice?
Well, I mean, in this game, I guess it changes because there's different shields.
Yep.
Like, different guns, different shields, but shotgun, that's always the way to go.
It's pretty effective,
it's
right?
Pretty effective.
It's like a machine shotgun, too.
Yes.
You can just keep going, poof, 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 which is the way you want to deal with Nazis. What remaster, remake should Activision focus on now that Spyro and Crash are onto original projects? That's Sam I Am 111. That's a good question, because they have a lot of intellectual property that dates back. They sold Battlezone, that would have been my suggestion, and that was recently remade. It was pretty decent. I wouldn't mind them going into their super old archive, their 80s stuff, and bringing back a game like River Raid or something like that. Not Enduro, and we don't need racing games that go on forever. But there's lots to mine in some of these classic franchises or classic games that they... River Raid, actually. I'm going to say that. It was made by a female developer, which Jeff Keighley and the Game Awards honored a couple of years ago. I was so overjoyed to see that. I used to love that game on the old Atari 2600. 90% of you probably don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But it was a great game, and it was the idea of flying up a river and trying not to get shot down. It was a great shooter for a very primitive piece of video game technology. And it was intelligently made, and it sold well. They made a sequel, and it would be fun to kind of redo that again with new tech. I think that'd be a blast. Okay. It's a good question. Blair Farrell's got a question. Games have the EB Games have the Marvel and Star Wars arcade one-up machines up for pre-order. Planning to get one? Yes, I am. Thank you for that bit of information. I might be visiting the website after the show today, actually. Very excited about that. Hey, Vic, should we expect further classic EP episodes on the channel? I love heading down memory lane. Greg, absolutely, and we are also planning to do some extended cuts and some throwbacks, like Where Are They Now, kind of tied to new type of content. We're working on that stuff like crazy. Honestly, when we're not cutting new things, that's what we're doing, is digitizing the classic content, and Blake has been doing a lot of that recently, and a lot more of that's coming. We're just trying to figure out how we're getting it out to everybody, but yes, we want to share everything. We want people to be able to watch the 25 years of the material that we've been putting out. One of the things that bugs me about YouTube is that it's so focused on the now, and it's so focused on your immediate release of whatever video you put out there. And people do find the classic stuff, and I see the comments and the views sort of pip up every once in a while, but yeah, we have so much classic material. But YouTube isn't really focused on how to serve that up, and I wish there was a better way to kind of, let people know that we have all of this stuff. Even our first 5 seasons, if you've never watched the first 5 seasons, you should take that trip, because we were allowed access to a world that was completely foreign to us and to most of the viewing public out there, and those were extraordinary days. But yeah, the goal is to serve it all up and to entreat all of you to help us spread the word so that more and more people have access to all this stuff. Very little access and interview content is going up with developers these days. And definitely what it is about that I see with these developers is it's all tied to a purchase. It's all tied to the features that are in a thing. And EP does a little bit of that for sure, but what is more interesting to me and to the people that we've worked with over the years is the impetus, the creativity that inspires these people to go and try to dream up and find ways to entertain us. That is always incredibly inspiring, and that's honestly what we have to offer, across our many, many years of doing this stuff. But good question, Greg. We are definitely going to get that stuff up there. You were trailblazing in those early seasons. Thank you, Greg. You rock, man. I've got time for like 2 more questions. Blair Farrell's playing Turok 2. Comment, thanks for answering my question. Sorry if it was too personal. You're awesome. Famous Seamus, thank you so much. Thanks for your support, man. It's always great to see you. Adrian Leon has got the last question of the day. Vic, have you heard Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb is now Xbox One backwards compatible? You just made my weekend. That is awesome. I have that Xbox game sitting right there. I think I've done it. I did it as a buried treasure. Okay, I'll do it again. I can't wait to see that sort of up-res to 4K. That's a classic game. I know one of the art director on that game, Bob Donatucci, is one of my best friends in the world, and he's an amazing guy. That game is incredible. He gave me a poster from the dev team years ago, and it's framed, and I just moved it the other day. So classic Indiana Jones experience. Can't wait to play that all up-resed on my Xbox One X. Guys, that's going to do it for our show on this Friday. We are back on Monday with an extraordinary show. Our friend Mike Micah from Digital Eclipse is with us. Mike Micah is he's a super developer with ties to lots and lots of classic games. He's worked on lots of, I guess, up conversions and ports. They've worked on lots of big games as well that are brand new and original at that studio, but he's a massive collector, and I'm going to be talking to him about the retro scene and how classic games are still incredibly relevant and still important to us in this day. And also we're going to catch up and find out about the new games that he and the studio are working on. So please come back on Monday. It's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. You can come and join us live in the studio at 390 West Hastings here in Vancouver. I'm sad that you're going to be back in Vancouver, but
yes,
please come back.
Or you're going to be in Edmonton. I hope I will be able to come back sometime.
Please come back, and I'll do my best to take this show on the road someday and maybe end up in Edmonton, which would be rad.
Yes, I would.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today, Hunter.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for hunting. Thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and play forever.